Hi, everybody. Welcome. We have a lot of fun. We'll see if anybody else is but Jackie, first of all, sorry I didn't get back to you yet. I was working out when you called, and then I was prepping for this call. So I hear you very well. Is everyone having that problem or just my sister?
That kind of thing. Because it really sounds like he's giving you, some nuggets.
I think everyone just needs to mute their line.
Yeah. How these things would plug into his life and how it would make his life simpler with a good meal.
There we go. Better? Okay. So welcome. So tonight, Lindsay's going to jump in here. Obviously, she's always got something to say. Just kidding. Love you, Linz. But she looks pretty tired right now, probably from traveling. But she wants to share a little bit about Platinum Edge this weekend. If you guys have followed her on Snapchat this weekend, it was pretty fun. It was so fun to watch and just watch everything happening. I went to Platinum Edge last year, and it's honestly just so great. I thought it was even better than Summit, just even more relevant information. Love it, love it. I was super sad to have to give up my ticket this year, but I had a friend's wedding this weekend that I just could not miss. So with that, I'm going to let Lindsay unmute herself and share a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about value, and I'll kind of explain why I chose that topic tonight after Lindsay's done.
You guys, I'm so tired. So here's what I just want to say. First of all, you need to go to events. You just need to. And what you need to understand when you go to events is that you're going to work hard and you're going to play harder, and there's not a lot of balance, but you get so much out of it, not just out of what you're learning, but just about being around those people too. Because the people that go to the events are serious about what they're doing. They're serious about what they want. They're serious about their vision. And when you're around them, you don't even have to be talking about it. You just get that momentum from them. Like we were out with our team a lot. If you guys watched, you saw it. And, we barely talked about the business when we weren't learning, but just to be out with those people that you see like crushing it every single day made you feel like you could rise up higher. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but live events are so important. And this event was awesome. So I have to tell you, I'm always honest. Everyone told me that this was going to be better than Summit. I went, and the entire time I was like, I don't really see how this is better than Summit. I think Summit's great. I think that's great. First of all, the fact that she can pull something off that is even comparable to Summit is insane. But second of all, I just felt like I had such high expectations that I couldn't really judge it until I got home. And now that I'm home, I think it's totally better than Summit. I didn't have to watch puppets for like 20 minutes. I didn't have to hear like scripted stuff on the stage. No, but I also I think about, and you guys I don't get on team calls and swear, right? But this is how real it is. You go there, you're surrounded by top coaches, top leaders that are killing their business every single day. They bring you back to earth, and they stand up there, and I think about every single person that taught, except for the people that were paid, like the motivational speakers, because I think they thought they'd get in trouble. But like every coach that was up there teaching dropped some sort of swear word every time, and it was just showing them like, we're going to come to you. Yeah, I'm a 15-star diamond and I make how much money, and like I have 30,000 followers, whatever it is. But they're like, but I'm going to come to you just as I would come to you on Facebook. Like whoever I am, whether I'm standing on stage, whether I'm posting on Facebook, whether I'm on my Snapchat, or whether I'm talking to my friend, I'm the same person. And I think that was a huge aha moment for a lot of people there. Because how many of you, once you start doing a post, feel like this doesn't even sound like me? Sometimes it sounds like an ad. Sometimes you're like, this just sounds dumb and I just need to erase the whole thing, but I just spent 10 minutes writing those 2 paragraphs. Like, I don't want to erase it, And the reason you're doing that, this is like the biggest takeaway, for one of the biggest takeaways. The reason you're doing that is because you're not being you. So I don't know if you guys know who Danielle Natoni is. She's Fit and Funky, right? So she was one of the key speakers, and I got most of everything that I took away from her. All the other speakers were great. They gave me lots of stuff to share. It was a lot of like reminding, but when she got up there, at first, being someone who was trained to speak in front of people a certain way my whole life, like as a teacher and things like that, or as an instructor, I kind of at first was like, she's really just doing this right now? Because she got up there and she's like, so people love me. They just totally love me. And they love my cat, and they think I'm the shit. And sometimes they look at my abs and they think I look like a man, but I don't care, because you want to know what? My followers love me. I could tell them to take dog food and rub it all over their body and they'd lose 10 pounds, and they do it because they love me. And I was like, I'm going to take something away from this. Like, this is crazy. But you know what she showed me? She showed you how to connect with people. And she said, the way I'm talking to you right now is how I'm going to talk to my husband later when I'm at home about something else. And when I type out a post, I'm going to say y'all, I'm going to say shit, I'm going to say totally, and I'm going to have bad grammar, and I'm not going to make sense sometimes, because that is me. And if I'm anybody else on social media, and then I start talking to people in the chat and trying to like have them relate to me, it's not going to make sense. I have to be unapologetically me 100%. So one thing that I really loved that she said also, and I'm only giving you guys like a few things and I'm done, because I'm going to do like a whole call on the whole thing. But was that she said she's like an amazing top coach. She was the CEO. She got the CEO award this year, I think, was it? Or last year? I don't know. But she said, this is the business. Are you ready? Here's the secret sauce. And so everybody's like, yes, we're ready, right? And she says, I get up, I drink a shake, I work out, I share on social media, I talk to some people, and later, if I have time, I do a video or I do a call. And I just do that every single day in the same order, every morning without fail. And I'm me. And that's the secret sauce. And it's like, we don't have to overcomplicate it. And that was the cool thing about going there, to where you thought like, I'm going to get these big tips. They have some secrets. And the secret is, stop being so freaking crazy. Like, just do the simple things that you're supposed to be doing and keep it fun. Don't stress and think, I need to be a pro at this social media platform because that's going to push me there. That's not going to push you there. What's going to push you there is drinking your shake, working out, talking to people, posting on social media, and doing it every single day.
Kicking ass.
And Rob says kicking ass. He also wants me to tell you that the presidential debate is on, and if you're not recording it, then he's going to be mad at you. He didn't say that last part, but he does want you to record it. So anyway, that was really cool, and I really like that. So this is Christine. So Christine is our upline. She has 200,000 coaches in her downline. Beachbody has 400,000 coaches. Do you guys know how insane that is? This is one thing I wanted to tell you. She offers boot camps to her entire downline, and you guys are her entire downline. PlatinumPresenters.com is full of trainings for you to use. You just have to sign up for it and create a login, and that is for you to use. She has a 30-day boot camp where you apply, and she's serious. Like, if you miss a day, you're out. And if she says it calls at 6 and you get out at 6:01, you're not in. Like, she's kind of like scary, but she's scary in a good way. So this is open for you. So you guys really take advantage of that. But one thing that she said that I loved, and it was about live events, is when we sat down, she said, I just want to tell all of you that whether you think you're here to take notes back to your team and maybe get a couple things out of it, or whether you're here to absorb everything. She goes, because everyone's here for something different. I want to tell you that you're in the best position, because you're going to go and you're going to relate this to your team. But what happens when people relay things? Like, because some people might be like, oh, I didn't get to go, but share your notes with me, right? Which of course I'm doing. And of course you guys are going to get aha moments out of that. But she said, it's not the same as the energy, the atmosphere, the feeling of being here. And then what happens when you relay a message over and over again? Telephone, right? It gets misconstrued. So going to live events, investing in your business is only going to give you twice the investment back. So I really liked that she said that as well. One thing you guys will notice is that I changed my profile picture to like a moving picture. So I know I just did that and I was like, I'm not going to use this. And then I did because I was tired. I didn't want to make another one. But moving pictures, a moving profile picture is going to grab like moving images are where it's at. Before it was like, don't just write a post with an image. Now it's like, it's a video or a movie image. They said that videos, especially live is where it's at. You should be going live every week. You don't need to go live about Beachbody. You just need to go live to share whatever value you have, which is why it's awesome that Amanda's going to share this with you today. It's like ties in perfect with that. But live videos give you 135% more organic reach, meaning you're not doing an ad and boosting it and paying. Danielle Natoni has never boosted a post or paid for a reach ever. It's all been organic since the beginning. And she says she's always just shown her real self on video and it naturally comes back to her. So that is huge. And the other girl that's like was up there and she's like a 2-star diamond, Coach Tulin. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. She is like a plus size model and she struggled with weight her whole life. And she got up there and she was supposed to be talking about social media. And the whole time she's just telling us about how she's a plus size model and talking about her feelings and sharing her emotions and sharing this. And I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, Christine Dwyer has to be freaking out in the back. Like she's not talking about anything about what she's supposed to be talking about. This isn't about social media. She's just up there talking about herself, you know? And I was kind of like, the emerald in me was like, what the hell's going on? And then I realized that was her tip to social media. She's going to give you her 100% all the time. There's no trick. It's no perfect post. It's no perfect time. It's just being you and being honest. So it was really awesome. The last thing that I wanted to say that was a big takeaway for me, and then I'm done, was that, where did I say it? So with your team, a lot of times in the beginning, you're just going to know that you're going to be attracting people that are attracted to what you're doing, right? And like through time, you might find, and it was really kind of funny with that this was one of the topics because it really connected with me a lot. But that sometimes like those people, they were meant to be in your life, like those coaches, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're there for the long haul. They said the team that gets you to diamond isn't the team that's going to get you to 2-star. Maybe some of them, but not all of them. And those things, it's hard sometimes to go through that. But what happens is as you grow as a leader, your vision grows. And when your vision grows, you link arms with people whose vision is up there with yours. And sometimes people's don't go up, right? Sometimes they don't because this is different for everyone. And when that happens, you just need to know it's okay. And it's nothing that you did wrong. And when your team starts changing, it's okay. And what one of the speakers said, who he tried 11 times at network marketing and failed every time. And the 12th time, he was like, I'm going to do this. And everyone's like, you're freaking nuts, right? It was Jessica Hudgens, I think is her name. Ray Hudgens was her husband. But he said the best thing you can do for your team is recruit a new team, because your team needs to see that you're never stopping. The best way to motivate your team is not to think, and Amanda, this really made me think of you, how can I help them more? What should I do more? What am I not doing to help them? The best way to help your team is to impact them with your actions, to show them that you're prospecting every day, to show them that you're posting every day. Like they're going to be impacted by that. They're going to be helped by seeing that you're doing it because it pulls them to do it. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can say or no amount of help that you can give that's going to be the difference for the person. The difference is that person. And they're going to do it and they're going to find the answer and they're going to come to you or they're not. And it's really just, he's like, it's only if you want your coaches to do this, 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 and this, then that's what you got to be doing. Nothing crazy, nothing different. It's not like, oh, I hit diamond and now I have this huge responsibility to train all these people. Yeah, you need to have systems, but your responsibility is to wake up, drink a shake, work out, right? Don't overcomplicate it. So that was what I took away. There's tons of stuff. I'm going to go over it all with you guys, but adding value on your page and the content and making sure that you're just sharing who you are so that people, like when they look at your Snapchat, I was totally against Snapchat. I wanted to hate Snapchat really, really bad. I did. I was like, who would ever work their business on there? I did it for this weekend and I'm totally addicted, not just because I love that. Oops, I almost said a word. I love that frickin' bunny, but because like it gives you the opportunity not to prospect new prospects, but how many people on Facebook Live, you can't go live for 10 seconds on Facebook Live 20 times a day. People can't get your personality. They can only get so much of your personality out of your posts. But when you attract them back to something where they can see who you truly are, they can get your sense of humor, then they connect to your posts even more. So as much as I don't want to love Snapchat, I totally love it a lot. And I'm not saying go out and do Snapchat now, but I'm just saying like this business is all about figure out who you are and how you can show people who you are 100% of the time, using the words totally, having bad grammar, whatever it is. Hey girl, if that's you. Right? Like I'm echoing in my ears. Okay, so I'm going to do this because I'm echoing in my ears. Anyway, that was my takeaway. I really loved it. I really recommend everybody going at least once, because when you go once, you're going to want to go again. And I know I also want to say one last thing. Sorry, Amanda. But, I didn't want to go to Platinum Edge. I'm going to be honest with you, because I go to Summit and I'm away from my son at Summit. Why? That's not okay for me to take another weekend away from my family for my business. Like I did that at Summit. I can't do that again, right? And then the leadership conference is coming up in February and I qualified for that. And I don't think I should do that because I just went 2 times away, right? This was my mindset before I went. And I'm like, I'm going to go, but I don't know if I'm going to go again. Well, when you don't go, you're doing yourself a disservice, because when you're in a point, and Amanda said this the other day, when you're in a point where you're just feeling like unmotivated and kind of down and is anything I'm doing even really mattering, that means that you need a live event. It doesn't mean you need to have a one-on-one with your upline or your upline's upline. It doesn't mean that, oh man, maybe this business isn't for me. It means that you need to see the big picture in front of you and be inspired for a minute. You can't always be inspiring unless you're being inspired too. So these events you need to go to because they fill your cup. And when your cup is full, you're only going to get closer to being home. So then these events, when you go, it's like I had to tell myself, I never leave the house. I was in my pajamas all day today. Like I don't leave the house, I do, but not a lot. I'm with Owen all the time. It's okay to do this. So anyway, that's that. Next week, I'll have a call on more of it, but thank you for letting me say that. Amanda, I asked her today if I could. I'm like, can I have 10 minutes? And I took 20. Sorry. But anyway, okay, that's it.
But all of that perfectly fits in with what I wanted to talk about tonight. So if you all didn't know, I've been struggling a little bit, but I'm back. Life is actually getting back to some sort of normal. Work is getting back to a normal. I don't have any night events at work this week for the first time since August, since the beginning of August or middle of August. I've had at least 2 to 3 work night or events at work at night, which means I don't get home till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So basically, I've been, I'll be completely honest, doing nothing. Lindsay's like, you've been doing nothing? I'm like, pretty much. I work out, I drink my shake. I work out, I drink my shake. I post on social media. Maybe I connect with some people, but I was not power houring at all. And I was just, not really doing much. So, and then I was dealing with some depression stuff and whatever. And one thing that I know that I struggle with is not feeling valued. And so then I thought, well, if I don't feel valued, then am I sharing anything of value? And so that's kind of where it came from. And then why I wanted to talk about it tonight. And then I heard a podcast actually of Christine Dwyer's. If you don't listen to her podcast, it's really good. And her podcast was about basically adding value and the 3 most engaging social media posts that you should be posting. So I will share that. But I did a little research on what do you do? How do you add value to other people's lives? I think we all know, we do it. But I just created a little presentation from some of the tips that I got that I think will just hopefully be a little helpful for all of us to start. I think we do a good job, but just to start focusing a little bit more on it, and kind of where Lindsay was talking about as well. So let me share my screen. I loved this quote by Albert Einstein. That's only a life lived for others is worth living. And I think that in this business, that is basically what we are doing every day. We're living a life for others, to help others, to change their lives, to help make them happier, healthier, more positive, to be able to have a mindset like ours. So I just loved that quote. So I had to put it in there. But the first tip is to inventory yourself. Because I think a lot of times, I know for me, like, what do I have to offer? What is my best skills, or what do I have to offer to others? So I think something good for each of us to do is just to inventory, like, what is it? What are your skills that you could share with others? I think many times, I've said this a million times, is I don't give myself enough credit. I don't know all the time that, like, well, I always think, well, everybody already knows this. Well, no, not everybody already knows this. There's somebody out there that doesn't know something. So I think sometimes I just need to take a step back and remember that, and not think about the people that are like me, but the people that want to get where I am, and remember, like, sit back and remember where you were and what knowledge you didn't have that you do have now, what resources you didn't have, what skills you didn't have, what connections you didn't have, and then being able to bring that forward and share that with others. So I just loved that. I think we already do this, but I just loved this little tip, is just do what you love. Adding value comes naturally when you're passionate and excited about what you do on a daily basis. And so I think as coaches, that's what we do. That's why we do this for the most part, is because we are passionate and excited about, I mean, maybe not every day are we excited about eating salads. Just kidding. You don't have to eat salads all the time, but poor Nicole has had to eat a lot of salads and she doesn't want to. But she's passionate and excited about seeing that change and being on this journey and being able to share all the struggles and all the excitement and all the amazingness and the bad times and the good times and everything that happens. And being able to do that will add value to other people's lives. Eliminate dead wood. So seriously, I needed to do this, and I did. You know, you have to just get rid of whatever weighs you down emotionally and physically. Whatever drags you down, and if you are in the dumps and you are not happy, other people will see that, and you're going to end up dragging them down as well. So you need to be really careful about who you surround yourself with, what you surround yourself with. Negativity, you know, I sometimes struggle at work with negativity, and I have to always take a step back and remember and think about just be staying positive, and I'll get through it, and I'm not dictated by what other people do and what other people say, and they can just say whatever they want, and it cannot affect myself emotionally at work. So I try to eliminate and stay away from all the drama and negativity and BS at work, basically. So just eliminate anything in your life that's dragging you down. If you are, you know, struggling with something at home, or you're struggling with a friendship, unfortunately, sometimes you might have to get rid of some friends that just aren't, if they're not picking you up and bringing, you know, making your life better, then what are they there for? And sometimes it's hard. It's really hard to not, you know, there's a couple friendships that definitely are not what they used to be, but they weren't really adding any value to my life. So why, I don't know. You have to really take inventory on that as well, and the people in your life and the things in your life. And are you doing something every day to make yourself better so that you can make other lives better? Education is eternal. Never stop learning. Now, like I'm addicted to learning. So obviously as an educator, I have 3 master's degrees. That just in general, I love learning. I love personal development, professional development. So professional development is a big piece of my job at work as well. I always like to say work on both, because the personal development is what's going to help you inside, emotionally, mentally, get you in the right mindset. But the professional development is what's going to help you professionally. So learning more about the business, learning about all of the products so that you can explain those to others, learning about volume. I get so many questions about volume, and there's a lot of videos and things out there that you could watch and learn. Learning about, just how to connecting with others is even professional development. And then that personal development is reading your book every day, or listening to your podcast, or listening to an audiobook, or any of those things. Reading your Bible, I feel like, is my personal development that I need to get back in the habit of doing. I actually bought a journal this weekend when I was shopping, that I'm going to start journaling again every night and reading my Bible. So that all to me is personal development versus professional development, where you are learning more about the business, or learning more about even your taxes, or anything like that. But never stop learning, because the more you learn, the more you have to share with others and add more value to their lives. Don't fear failure. I always say fail is first attempt in learning. But failure and mistakes make us human, and we need to share those with people. When others see your genuineness and vulnerability, they're going to like you more. They're going to relate to you more. They're not going to think you're this perfect human that people sometimes think that we are. Unfortunately, I feel like. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Maybe I don't eat pizza, but I drink too much. Just kidding. So, sharing any failure or mistakes or things that go wrong is so important to adding value to people's lives, because they're going to connect with you more. They're going to relate to you more. You're going to have lessons that you can share. Because if life was just perfect and this journey was always an uphill journey, we'd have nothing to share. We'd have no value to add to people's lives, because it would just be like, oh, I'm getting better. I'm better. I'm better. I'm better. And that just makes you sound conceited, and no one's going to relate to that, because that is not real life, people. So I don't know if you've ever seen the picture where what people think success is, and it's a straight line, and what success really is, and it's like all these scribbles, and it is not a straight line. It's a lot of struggles and failures and mistakes. And so I think as coaches, it's important for us to share that as part of our journey, is that it's not perfect, and that we do make mistakes a lot. Like Carly, I was watching one of her videos that she had on Snapchat, that she was like, well, I ate McDonald's on a road trip. Coaches aren't perfect. Encourage and inspire. So have you ever told anyone to stop encouraging you? No. I think that's one thing I get from people a lot. I do get that recognition is, when I do reach out, oh, I love your messages. Thank you. Thank you. They may not join a group or whatever, but they do love the encouragement and the inspiration and the motivation that's being shared. And sometimes we see that potential in other people before they see it for themselves. So we just have to continue to encourage others and try to inspire them. I always say that you can inspire somebody, but you can't motivate them. They have to motivate themselves. They have to find that motivation deep inside, but you can inspire them by sharing what's worked for you. Sharing motivational quotes really are more like inspirational quotes in my mind. But many times motivation and inspiration are used hand in hand. Create or expand. So this one was just about like help others create something or expand something. And it doesn't always have to be, I think we have to remember that it doesn't always have to be Beachbody related. It doesn't always have to be coach related. It actually shouldn't be. So help others, you know, if they need help with something around the house or something at home or finding a new restaurant or creating, I don't know, a spreadsheet to help them with their budget. Like you need to, again, go back to that inventory. What are you really good at? What are things that you can share with others and help others create or expand on those things to help them? Same thing, share your skills or expertise. So again, teach someone how to do something or how to do it better. Again, for me, I always have to remember that, like, not everybody knows Google Drive or something. Like, obviously, technology is a huge skill that I have that I don't always share because I just think, well, everybody probably already knows this. And most of the time people don't, I find. So I just need to start sharing, you know, those little tips and those little different little things on how to do, you know, how to use the Canva app or how to, many times I can't believe, somebody recently was like, oh, how do you cut your videos? I think it was Carissa. And I said, Pick, Play, Post was one of the apps. And she never used that one. And it's one I've been using for like 2 years. So you never know what people don't know. So you need to just share. I love this one, practice social generosity, which at first I was like, what is it? What do they mean by that? But it's like, think about the people in your life and the ways that knowing each other. So say you have two friends in your life that don't know each other. How could they benefit each other if you introduce them? So maybe it's for nothing related to Beachbody again. You know, maybe one of you has an old single friend like myself, and you want to introduce us, whether it be a girl that, you know, is single living in the city and just needs somebody to hang out with, or I'm just, you know, throwing out random things. But think about the people in your life and bring them together. I think many times I've had friends I know that, like, they don't want their different groups of friends to mix. And I don't really know why, because maybe they're not, this goes back to what Danielle said, maybe they're a different person with one group than another group, and they don't want the other groups to know, which they shouldn't be a different person. That's an issue in itself, is that, you know, you need to be you, and you need to be you all the time. But so bringing different groups of people together to benefit each other and help them out. Acknowledge accomplishments and achievements. So that's definitely one of our vital behaviors, is recognition. But did you know that one of the most cited reasons that people quit their jobs is not have to do with pay or any of those things, but it's that they feel or underappreciated. So be sure you recognize people on a daily basis for the things that they're doing to add value to your life, that you appreciate them. It really goes a long way. Just a kind little message to somebody seriously can change their day, change their life, change their week, make them happier. So please make sure that you remember that. It's something that I need to work on more. So those are just some tips from this great article that I found that I just thought, I think they all kind of fit really well with what we're trying to do as coaches and what we're just trying to do in life. And then the podcast from Christine Dwyer, I forget what it was titled. I think it was something like the 3 top social media posts. But it was great that basically it was about just helping others. Yeah, the 3 best social media posts on Facebook that guarantee engagement and a following. And the first one was motivation and mindset. So obviously you don't want to flood your page with motivational quotes every day. But I like to post, I usually post like 1 a day, maybe 1 every other day, something like that. And it really, I get the most shares on things like that. People love to I love coming across different quotes on my Facebook feed. Different quotes from different people, wherever. And when people see a certain quote that you share, they know that mindset. It tells them what kind of mindset you have. So if it's a positive quote of some sort, it's showing them what type of mindset you have. So it's having them learn more about you, and then you're adding value to their life by sharing that motivation with them. And hopefully it speaks to them that then they have a better day. So I usually like to post it in the morning. Brendan Bouchard, if you guys don't follow him, he's amazing. And I love, love, love his quotes. So I get a lot of things from him. So those are one of the top posts that's going to, get seen, be engaging, add value is motivation and a message about mindset. So you could just add the quote, or you could, give your little testimony or story about why that quote is speaking to you that day, and hopefully motivate others in that day. Number 2 is your journey. And basically this is your day-to-day life. Like, doesn't have to be about Beachbody, shouldn't always be about Beachbody, but what is your life like? What do you do day to day from every day? I'll continue recording and I'll just put the two together. And I couldn't even see, thankfully it came up like your recording has started processing, because otherwise I would not have even known that you guys couldn't see anything. Okay. So your journey, obviously, I think we do this every day. You try and share something about your day, whether it's your new favorite restaurant, or it is your child driving you crazy that day, or it's, whatever. But those posts make a huge difference with your following. So be sure that you are sharing something about your day-to-day life every single day. And then number 3 is be an educator. So kind of like with all that I was saying before, find your skills, find what you're good at, and teach that to others. So I had put on the post about the call today, that the best way to learn something is to teach it. So if you are learning something new, the best way is to teach it to others. So there was kind of 2 meanings behind that. One is because I need to work on adding value to other people's lives, so it had to do with this, but then just in general, is that as you are learning something, so if you're listening to the podcast one day, then teach that right away. Go out and teach something that you learned from that podcast. Or if you're reading a book, get on and post something about what you learned from the book that you're reading. Or if you watched a video, go back and teach that to people. I always worry that something that I was struggling with was, well, Lindsay already shared it, so people already know it. So why I shouldn't have to share it in my team page. But someone might connect with me differently, or it might be, I might just explain it just a little bit differently, that it connects with somebody else. So so just always remember that. I share that because it's something that I struggle with, especially because we're all building teams under Lindsay. And yes, she shares a lot of awesome things, but that doesn't mean that we don't have the ability to share that ourselves as well. And the last thing is just some places where, because sometimes it's like, well, I don't know what to share today, or things like that. So always be doing your personal development, listening to podcasts, reading books, watching videos, things like that. Those are all going to be places where you can easily take what you learned from that and share that with others to add value to their lives. Another place that I learned about actually last year at Platinum Edge was BuzzFeed. So if you don't go to BuzzFeed.com, there's all kinds of random articles and funny things and all kinds of things that sometimes if I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to share, I'm not even sure what to share today, that's a place that I will go if I'm looking for some fact-based stuff or something funny or something like that. Pinterest is always a good place. Reading different blogs. Blogging is a big thing at work right now. There's an Innovators Mindset group that I'm a part of that everyone's creating new blogs. So, which is cool. Music sometimes I find, even my Christian music, I find that I will get motivation or something from there in the mornings or whenever I'm listening to music at work. Magazines, just learning from friends, and then just life in general. Like sometimes I need to be more reflective in life and just what's happening in my life and reflecting on that and sharing those reflections and sharing what keeps me going and motivated. And today I couldn't believe that I worked out at like 6:30 at night. That is not like me, and I didn't like it. So I had to share that with people because I just don't like it. I really like my morning workouts, but I had a little too much fun yesterday, and this morning did not happen. So, but it's not an excuse to not get it done. So I just did. So those are things in life that was content that I could then share with others. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. Thanks for those that jump back on. So basically what happened was I used to have the paid account or like the pro account that let you have longer than 40 minutes, but my card got changed and then it didn't get changed in Zoom yet. And so it cut me off at 40 minutes. So boo, boo. But thank you for jumping back on. I am going to unmute you and see if you have any questions or anything to add. Anything to add that to share with the group?
I wanted to say, Nicole, that
a question.
was amazing results.
Someone has a question, Deborah? Oh, Nicole's amazing results? Yeah.
That's me.
Thank you.
You've inspired me. I think I may actually do it, and I'm really afraid.
I had to mentally prepare. Like I had it and then I had it in my cart for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought it and then I had it at home for like a week before I did it. So it was worth it. Courtney asked me if I'd do it again, maybe in like a year or two. But I needed it, so it was good that I did it. I feel a lot better. I'm an emotional eater, and I binge eat, and so it was good to help me figure out what some of my triggers were. There was one day that I was like nauseous and I didn't feel good, and probably because I had too much salad. And I ate like a Ritz cracker, and the next day I had a headache, and I was like, seriously, from one stupid Ritz cracker gave me a headache. But it was from like the salt and the grains, and I wasn't eating that, and so it made me sick. And so like today, everyone's like, "Are you gonna eat like cheesecake and a burger?" And I was like, "Yeah, if I want to vomit." No, I wouldn't do that to myself right away. I'm good. And I had like nachos for dinner tonight, and Rex was like, "Yeah, how's that gonna settle?" I was like, "It was rice and beans and salsa and guacamole and onions. There was no dairy in this. There was no cheese. There was no. It's fine. I feel overly full now."
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't have had as much, but I measured it out. But it was good. It's definitely worth it, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Like if you're not really ready for it, it's not worth your money or your time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's like Whole30 because it's the same thing without all the supplements essentially, and you cut everything out day one. But it makes you feel amazing, and you really learn what your body. Still don't eat dairy at all.
I had super vivid dreams.
Huh?
Super vivid dreams. Like I thought that they were real, and I woke up the first week, and I was like, I didn't get any sleep, but it was because they were so real. And they mentioned in there that you might be dreaming differently, and you might. So that was definitely an experience. But like later, I felt a lot more rested, and I was getting a lot of bad headaches, and I couldn't figure out what they were from. And I tried, I cut out Shakeology for a couple of weeks. I was trying so many different things, and I couldn't figure it out. And other than that stupid cracker, I didn't have any headaches. And it was like, I felt like I had a hangover in the morning. It lasted for like an hour. And I was like, from a stupid cracker, I'm never eating a Ritz cracker again.
Amanda, I have a question.
Yes, who is talking? Deborah?
Spruha.
That's me.
Oh.
First of all, Nicole, you look really great. I like rosy cheeks. So much in your face. So I just wanted to say, so I'm really happy that it was at least worth it. The thing I want to ask you, Amanda, was you were sharing your vulnerability, sharing you, and I'm totally, but how do you, like, I always feel like I always have to like kind of like, if I'm sharing like something hard or something, like kind of sucky, that I feel this like I'm compelled to like, round it out with like a hey type of, thing at the end. And so how do you kind of,
Do you mean
say
like,
that again?
I know it's breaking up a little bit. I don't know if it's me or what, but
It might be me. Sorry.
but you always feel like you have to put a positive spin back on it, even
Yeah. Like I don't want it to be, I always feel like I have to like,
a negative Nancy.
right.
Yeah, but I don't think it has to be. I think it all comes in how you relay the message. Like, yes, I've struggled. It's better actually. It's Bruhan now. And just sharing the struggle, but then it's okay to share. I guess it depends on where you are in the journey. So are you in the middle of the struggle and maybe you're asking for advice from people, or have you already figured out what has gotten you to be better through that struggle, and then you are sharing the positive of it. You're sharing the story of it, that I went through this and whatever it was, and I learned from it. I don't think it's a bad thing to do that. But maybe another way for you to think about it is, if you're in the middle of the struggle, is like asking for advice as you're sharing the struggle, so that you aren't just being negative, but that you're actually looking to get some advice from people.
Yeah, I like that, what you said about asking while you're in the middle of it. And maybe that's just a personal thing, because for me, maybe it's the way I was brought up. Maybe it's just the way that I kind of have been, like how I self-regulate, like that I just I just kind of like think to myself, like, okay, I'm just going to like lock it down. I'm going to figure it out, so that might be part of it. And I don't know if anyone else has that, like, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I like what Amanda said about asking for advice. You could kind of just be like, listen, I'm in the middle of this crap and I try and stay positive and I'm trying to look on the bright side of everything, but for the love of God, I cannot find a positive in any of this. So please, if you see it, shout it out to me, because girlfriend needs some help. And then people can be like, oh, you're fine. It's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of, and even though you're in the middle of it and you're just trying to get some action on your page, you really do get uplifted, and people really are going to be able to help you find the positive in it and know that you're not alone, because everyone goes through that. But I think that if we always share the solution and always just share the positive side, it's hard for people to see who we are and how you're growing. I think that it's okay to show struggle and not always having the perfect solution, because then they realize that you're human and you're not just like this superhuman, I'm positive and sunshine and rainbows and unicorns all the time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's just part of my nature is to always like be positive. People are always saying how positive I am, and so like I feel like compelled to like always be positive and not show that. And a lot of times I am like pretty positive, like I'm pretty resilient, and so that's why sometimes I feel like it's not fake, but like sometimes I'm like, well, how do I even say this in a way that doesn't sound like complaining or attention seeking? So I don't know.
But I think seriously, people want to give you your opinion. So number one, two post examples that like got so much attraction. One is my own that I posted the other night. Like, is it bad that I'm sad that I have to go on this date instead of watch Grey's Anatomy? I got like all of these people like, it's okay, don't give up, because I put like single girl problems, like I don't care anymore, I'm just gonna be single forever, basically. And I had people that like I don't talk to ever tell me, don't worry, it's okay. Like, and I was not like looking for that. I was just trying to be funny, but whatever. So that number one, people will give you their advice. Number two, Sheila's post the other day about Nora being a bad girl at school. She's being really bad. Did you guys see how many comments and how much advice she got? It was like insane. People were writing paragraphs, and every single person was writing paragraphs and giving her advice. And that's hard. I'm sure that was really hard for her to share. I'm not a mother, but even as an auntie, I'm like, why are you being a bad girl at school? Like, be good. And I want her to be good. And especially because I'm a teacher and I know what it feels like to be on the other side and being the bad girl. Like, and so I'm sure that was really hard for Sheila to share, but the amount of advice and to know, like, everybody was like, don't worry, it's normal. Your child is not the only one that's bad at school. Like, here are some things to try. And she got super practical ideas to start trying. But that's a hard thing and a hard struggle that she shared and asked for advice. So, like, I think that's a clear example of kind of where you're looking for some advice.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm going to try and put the 2 recordings together to one video and post it. So I did post in the group. Sorry, everybody. Jump back on. But I'm glad you guys at least jumped back on. Do a little inventory of your skills and remember what you have to share with others. And just keep focus on that and keep learning every single day and sharing what you learn with other people to add value to their lives. And I'm back and I'm super happy and back in the swing of things. So I'm
Good.
thank you for being there for me and supporting me and all that. Love you guys. And yeah, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Woo. All right. Have a good night and I will talk to everybody soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.